Hello everyone, my name is Feng Baona. Major is business administration, and my research topic is factors influencing the retention of graduate teachers in Jiangxi province, China. My presentation overview consists of 5 parts. Chapter 1 is the introduction. Chapter 2 is the literature review. Chapter 3 is the research methodology. Chapter 4 is the data collection, analysis, and findings. Chapter 5 is the conclusion and recommendations. Now here comes the Chapter 1, Introduction. Introduction of the proposed research. The topic of discussion in the dissertation is the factors that influence the numbers of teachers who continue their education at universities in the province of Jiangxi in China. There has also been an investigation into the potential mechanisms that have been identified for the faculty turnover that has occurred at a specific university. Additionally, the students are proficient in the use of technology, which allows them to deal with the modernized infrastructure that has been refurbished both digitally and decoratively in order to complete the curriculum on time. Nevertheless, there are a few obstacles that could potentially impede the retention processes and efforts of the government. Background of the proposed research. According to Qingpeng and Zhezi, Jiangxi province is located in China's rural terrain, which is the reason why it is essential to pay special attention to the prevention of teacher-employee turnover. In order to each student to be able to contribute to the gross domestic product of the nation, they have all received the training on a global scale. Meridi, Chen, and Bunch state that alternative career professions are responsible for generation of wage satisfaction, which the academic sector is unable to build up at times. According to Kaya and Argon, despite the implementation of various progressive initiatives, several educational institutions have been unable to effectively address the issue of the loss of talented professionals. Problem statements. The fact that teachers have no interest in improving the quality of the institution is another factor that contributes to the high rate of teacher turnover. The disinterest of the government and the incompetence of the administration are also factors that contribute to the situation. These individuals have also raised their voices in reference to the paying return that they have experienced. The efficiency in financial resources have made the situation even more dire. As a result of the system's lack of adaptability, the students are forced to act as guinea pigs for the experiments that they choose on their own. Research questions. Research question 1. What are work-related challenges faced by graduate teachers in Jiangxi province? Research question 2. What are the positive factors that contribute to the retention of graduated teachers in Jiangxi province? Research question 3. What are the appropriate strategies needed to retain graduate teachers in Jiangxi province? Research objectives. Research objective 1. To explore the work-related challenges faced by graduate teachers in Jiangxi province. Research Objective 2 to examine the positive factors that contribute to the retention of graduate teachers in Jiangxi province. Research Question 3 to identify the appropriate strategies needed to retain graduate teachers in Jiangxi province. Research Hypothesis. Research Hypothesis 1, a decrease in work-related challenges would increase the retention of graduate teachers in Jiangxi province. Research Hypothesis 2, an improvement in positive factors would increase the retention of graduate teachers in Jiangxi province. Research Hypothesis 3, the implementation of appropriate strategies would increase the retention of graduate teachers in Jiangxi province. Scope of study. The research on MOOCs conducted in the province of Jiangxi offers an oversimplified interpretation of the effect that the factors of learners play. According to Wilson and Kabadi, the most effective method for enhancing the quality of education offered in China's universities is to emphasize professionalization. Professionalism. According to Coulter and Badia, the establishment of a learning environment is the responsibility of both quantitative and qualitative data. It is important to build educational procedures that will strengthen professional activities that are effective. Significance of the research. Theoretical contribution. This study takes into consideration the lack of or deficiency of in rural parts of China. So, completing the research space that was previously occupied by research on the demand of practical contributions. The purpose of this research is to investigate the recent status of teacher requirements in Chinese institutions in a manner that is more objective and impartial. The research makes use of current data and material that has been officially released. Policy contribution. Through the use of this evaluation, the thesis is able to conduct a comprehensive analysis of the shortage problem and also products direct and insightful perspectives. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Introduction. The fact that the retention of university teachers and the teachers is a big concern that poses a threat to the educational service system is something that is widely acknowledged. The purpose of this discussion is to identify the difficulties and the problems that develop during the teaching process and that ultimately result in the retention of teachers. The economic impact, on the other hand, is also responsible for the significant problem. And this subject will be investigated with the support of a number of reliable sources. As a part of the study paper that is now being prepared, the purpose is to determine the significant and important factors that are responsible for the retention of teachers. The global context. On a global scale, there have been concerned voices concerning the rates of teacher retention in the current context. During a time when the epidemic is causing suffering all across the world, studies are being utterly pushed to the back burner. The teachers who are teaching the students who are learning from home are not particularly excited about their studies, and the teachers are not driven to continue working in their particular field. Both the students and the teachers are not very happy about attending school. The country context. It is estimated that roughly 35% of teachers in China leave their positions each year. This is a very high rate. Based on this information, it can be deduced that approximately 35 teachers out of every 100 quit their professions and hunt for employment in diverse sectors of the economy. It would appear that the prospects for the children's futures are not looking good at the moment. Given the fact that teachers are leaving their jobs and leaving the profession completely, this should be a matter of the utmost importance. The scope of study context. When it comes to the retention of graduate teachers in China, the primary purpose of this unit is to undertake an analysis of the multiple elements that have an impact on the retention of these teachers. A variety of separate factors that will contribute to the retention of teachers who would otherwise leave their employment and migrate to new sectors of the economy will be explored over the course of the research. These factors will be investigated while the research is being conducted. Pertinent prior research. Independent variable 1. For the most part, employee turnover at universities is determined by three elements, as stated by Li and Co. Income, professional promotion, and working environment. One are of the opinion that the turnover of instructors, which is separate from a healthy talent flow, requires prompt attention. Ma and Prevism are of the opinion that there are a variety of various reasons and explanations for the high rate of teacher turnover. According to Feng, Li, and Hu, highly qualified educators choose to attend either overseas universities that are supported by foreign governments or foreign universities, since the pay scale at these institutions is significantly greater than it is at universities in their native country. Pertinent prior research independent variable 2. According to Teropov, Merble, and Johansson, this theory is comprised of two fundamental themes. These themes are the commercial and non-financial elements that are responsible for the retention of instructors. According to the viewpoint expressed by Sun, every educational establishment has a strong desire to recruit teachers who possess the necessary qualifications in order to establish a constructive environment in which students can achieve their educational objectives. According to Ansley, Hunshins, and Vargas, the traditional instructors or the locals are the ones who have the most difficulties in the university setting. The universities offer less salary to those teachers whose retention is affected by the conflicts that occur between the staff members and the campus. This is because of the issues that have been raised, as opposed to what is said in Universities that are relatively new to the society are often not in a position to hire experienced and qualified faculty members for their institutions. Pertinent prior research independent variable 3. Jabber and Hushing state that this process is one of the factors that contributes to the growth of society, which finally leads to an overview of how the overall development of the country is moving. According to Hamad and Jamil, in order to enhance the responsibilities that instructors are responsible for, a variety of various promotional incentives are made available to them in order to ease the financial burden that it creates on educational institutions. Zero state that several bids are held in order to select the firm that gives a quality product at a reduced price. And advantages compensation structure that includes leaves is also frequently awarded to institutions that are exceedingly expensive and provide luxury to the workers, as stated by Feng. Pertinent prior research dependent variable. In construct to the findings that Joe Park and Lim discovered, the process of improving the connection in the context of learning growth involves a significant number of crucial components being engaged in the process. According to Aspling and Johnson, the new philosophy that is prevalent in educational institutions is that the instructor and the student should collaborate on projects alongside one another as partners, as opposed to the conclusions of Aspling and Johnson, which say that these elements do not play a role. This shows that these aspects do have a function. In accordance with the opinion expressed by Pascal, it is highly anticipated that a student will exhibit a correlative attitude towards a teacher in order to facilitate effective learning and communication. Here are the research gaps. Independent variable 1. There is a gap in understanding how the quality of student study impacts teacher retention. For example, do teachers feel more fulfilled and thus more likely to stay in their positions when they perceive their students as high achievers? Independent variable 2. There is a lack of qualitative studies exploring the experiences and perceptions of teachers regarding their relationships with students in relation to their decision to remain in or leave their job. Independent variable 3. There might be a lack of comparative studies on how different policy approaches within China or between countries affect the retention of graduate teachers. Dependent variable. Existing research might not sufficiently cover the impact of retention programs, specifically designed for the retention of Jiangxi province, considering its unique socio-economic status. And here is the conceptual framework. Here you can see my 3 independent variables and the dependent variable.